Welcome to the conversation at airsafe.com. I'm your host, Todd Curtis. On May 19, 2016, EgyptAir flight MS-804 disappeared from radar while on a flight from Paris, France to Cairo, Egypt. The following morning, I was interviewed by Fox Business, where we discussed some of the early evidence and the implications of that evidence.
Todd, thanks very much for joining us this morning. We are piecing together what appears to be the plane carrying 66 people crashing in the Mediterranean Sea. What does this look like from your standpoint?
Well, the thing that stands out here is that whatever happened seemed to have been a very sudden onset. The Greek air traffic controllers tried to contact the aircraft during a normal portion of cruise, and they simply didn't respond, and then it disappeared from radar. That speaks to something very likely fast-acting and possibly catastrophic happening to the aircraft.
Now, some officials are saying that they saw fire in the sky. You don't want to make too many jumps here, but there was something that sent that plane crashing into the sea. What are you looking at in terms of what could be a fire in the sky that obviously officials say they witnessed?
Well, as to the eyewitness report of something in the sky, first that would have to be coordinated with where those witnesses were and whether or not there's other collaborating evidence that would show that it was likely in the area of that aircraft. Now, that said, given that this very unusual event, a fire in the sky, and the disappearance of the aircraft happened in close proximity to one another, it doesn't bode well for the aircraft.
John Hilsenhoff?
Is this the kind of event, given the altitude that the plane was flying at, could it have been taken out by a surface-to-air missile? Or if this thing went down, is it more likely that there was some object on the plane itself that blew it up in midair?
Well, speaking to the missile possibility, certainly this is something that could happen. However, at cruising altitude, roughly 37,000 feet, your common shoulder-fired missile, a Stinger missile, etc., would not be able to reach that altitude. The kind of technology that would be needed is certainly available in military forces throughout the world, but it's not the kind of thing that would be used by insurgent forces. Now, as to other things that could take the aircraft out, there's a whole legion of possibilities that could lead to something that would be a catastrophic failure, explosion in the sky, etc. But lacking any other information, it's hard to speculate as to what that may have been.
And apparently the plane was in Egyptian airspace when this happened. Is there anything to be learned from that this didn't happen until it got into Egyptian airspace?
10 miles into Egyptian airspace.
Well, it's unclear whether or not the event that happened in Egyptian airspace. One of the reports I saw earlier from the Greek authorities was that their air traffic controllers were trying to contact the aircraft for some time before it exited Greek airspace, and then it disappeared from radar after they were trying to contact it. So again, without some further coordination between the Greek and Egyptian authorities and possibly other authorities in the area, it's unclear to me where the initiating event may have occurred.
Todd, it's Dagan McDowell. How critical is it to find this debris field? I mean, the timing of it. Like, how critical is it to find it as soon as possible?
Well, the one possibility that I hope may exist right now is that perhaps this aircraft didn't catastrophically crash, but there may be survivors out there. So certainly, as soon as any debris can be found, the authorities would be able to zero in their search for any possible survivors, assuming, of course, it crashed on water. But beyond that, if survival is no longer a possibility, then certainly, if there's a debris field, that will point to where information, including the black boxes, may be recovered. For more information on this accident, please visit airsafe.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.